Grassroots Radio Gloucestershire. Talked a lot about links between sport, concussion and dementia, haven't we? The Rugby World Cup winner Steve Thompson says he can't even remember the pinnacle of his career when England lifted the trophy in 2003. Right from the top of the sport to the grassroots, the game is now committed to dealing with the issue of player welfare. Of course, here in Gloucestershire, Longlevens Rugby has teamed up now with Cheltenham NM Sports Therapy. Their specialists will cover Longlevens match days, providing a concussion screening service to all players and then overseeing any rehab that's needed. With me is Longlevens chairman Chris York. Morning to you, Chris.
Good morning, Mark.
Lovely to have you on, Chris. Hope you're cool and relaxed and refreshed. Kirsten's with us as well, Kirsten Wing, who's the clinical manager at MN Sports Therapy. Morning, Kirsten.
Morning, Mark.
Great to get you both on. Let's start, if we can, with you, Chris. It's really interesting. We often think it's the big games, it's the World Cup, it's Steve Thompson. Andy Hazel's talked a lot about it, former Gloucester legend. But doing it at grassroots, the contact is still the contact.
That's absolutely right. And the reason why we love the game is because of the risk, and that risk, it exists at every age group, at every level. And we just thought, well, we can't bury our head in the sand. If you're someone who's new to rugby, this might be the only thing you know about rugby. So we thought, let's be proactive and get some excellent medical advice on board.
So we'll talk to Kirsten in a minute, but tell me proactively, what does it mean linking up with the team here?
Well, I can only speak in our context, and what we've historically you get someone in for a session, you pay them for a session, that kind of ad hoc, month-to-month kind of support. We've changed that to say, no, they're basically on retainer, so they are there in their full capacity to support every level of the club, and that's our seniors, our juniors, and our mixed ability side. So they're not going anywhere for as long as they're in place.
Wow. So Kirsten, let's just remind you from NM Sports Therapy, take me through some of the techniques and skills that you have, especially if contact has been made and you need to check someone out.
Oh, wow. So there are lots of protocols available to us as clinicians, as practitioners, because concussion is one of the injuries we see in rugby, probably the most prevalent at the moment. So what we will do, and what is kind of gold standard practice, now this is not unique to grassroots clubs or premiership clubs, it's a standardised process. We do a baseline concussion screening with all players, because everyone is completely different and individual. So understanding what they like before they take an arc is really important, because then if they do take an arc, and there's lots of signs and symptoms that we would use to identify that, we can then use a really accurate, individualized tool to assess that concussion, exactly what that looks like and what that might mean for the player going through what we call a graduated return to play. So we don't just return them to sport. There's a really methodical process, making sure that they are physically and mentally ready to return to the game.
Got you. Chris, we're running out of time briefly, so if you could be brief on this, but I'm interested. How does a club like Longlevens facilitate and afford all this?
Well, we've been blessed by having a very supportive membership. We had a crowdfund campaign during lockdown. They've been using the club to watch the British Lions. We've got some great events coming up, like the Brian Hayes Memorial on Saturday, the 14th of August. So people are using the club, people are active members. So we want to invest, we want to thrive, not just survive. And this is the first step of our investment into the club.
And the lovely thing is, this is also about what you can do, not just what you can't do. It's having the confidence. And grassroots rugby, we know in Gloucestershire, has provided so many famous players who've gone on to have amazing careers, your club included. So it's what you can achieve as opposed to what you can't, I guess, is the vibe here, Chris.
It's very easy to say that's not how it gets done, or we've never done that before. It's so easy to make excuses, but a little bit of thought, and COVID gave us plenty of time to do that. And Longlevens are saying, if you want your kid to be safe, protected, and have the reassurance of medical protection, come and join and come and play rugby.
Great to speak to you, Chris. Thank you for that. We're going to follow this journey if we can with you and do more with you. We'll get down and chat to you all. Thanks, Chris. And also, Kirsten, thank you so much for explaining all that from NM Sports. So about rugby, we'll get the team for the Lions, won't we? Will our Lewis Rees Summit be in it? We'll be finding out later.